Q&A and doing a review over lesson 1, which is questions. And so Jill is one of the individuals that had the question where she knows she has to ask questions, but she struggles, doing that. And if you don't ask the question, like, what's your biggest challenge, you obviously can't leverage something that you don't know. Jill, did that help you in what we talked about with Tom and Peter today?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jill, you went ahead and are participating, in the Wizards, life, that project, and it's the most interesting project. And I went ahead and emailed a bunch of people that I knew that there was the Wizard. It's the last Saturday of every month in the Chicago area, just 20 miles west of Chicago, that people can come in and meet the Wizard. And Alan and Nancy went ahead and said, hey, Mark, it's only a week before, or a few days before, so to fly in, it'd be $1,400 to fly in, and so we're willing to do it. Just tell us to be there, and we'll be there. When you went ahead and saw that transpire, Jill, what were your thoughts?
First thought was, wow. And then I thought, how amazing they are. And then I thought, what am I missing that I don't know that I necessarily would have done that. And so if I wouldn't, what am I missing?
So Tom and Peter, Jill she owns a number of her own companies. She's an amazing individual. When she went ahead and I recommended her, to sign up for Leverage, she looked at a budget and said, hey, I'm not able to do that unless I go ahead and sacrifice another event. And so she sacrificed another event that she was planning on going to that was, in the Chicago area in the middle of winter. She was going to go to Cancun or something. So she gave up a really nice thing to go ahead and jump into Leverage. And so she's very different. Like, most people don't think like Jill does. And so, like, she reminds me a lot of you, Tom, where you see stuff that other people don't see. Tom, how do you help other people around you to learn to see stuff that you don't see?
It's hard to live up to the brand you put on people, so I'm going to give it a shot here. It really does, at least from my perspective, ask questions. I mean, it's right here in front of you, and it's the one thing that, for instance, I'm in New York this week, and I'll be working with some folks on Wednesday and Thursday, and most of what we're going to be working about is going to be really starting to understand the right questions to ask at the right time. And so when somebody doesn't really, if I see something that really stands out and they don't, then I try to ask enough questions to get them to the point that they maybe start to see what it's all about. That's a pretty convoluted answer. But I do have a question.
Yeah.
And that is, was it worth the Cancun meeting to get involved so far?
Yeah.
And why?
Because this is making me stretch and it's making me grow.
Great. Thank you.
And I'd like to know, how do you know what the right questions are, and how do you know when it's the right time to ask them?
They won't know the answer to that, Jill.
What I can tell you is I'm dealing with a business that I'm involved in that's not on track at the moment, so things are going wrong, right? So it's not serving its purpose. And when I get amongst the people that are trying to achieve the goals that we have, a lot of the time, I'd say half the time, my question is, what if? All right, and usually the what if is based on something they're not doing, or maybe something they think they should do, and just playing the what if through. What if we did this? What if we changed that? And letting people answer those questions. So they often bring up other questions, but it becomes an exploration at that point towards finding a solution that I think will work and they think will work. So to me, the question of what if is a kind of getting everybody engaged in a trial run to do something differently and spot the obstacles before and think more carefully about if it's serving the goals that we have to implement the what if. So to me, that's a very powerful question to ask a team. It usually needs to be stimulated by an idea that stimulates other ideas for what ifs. But it creates a searching process for solutions, gap filling.
So Peter, he's always teasing and tantalizing me, and I love that about him. So intriguing. Tom doesn't do it so much. I'm not sure why.
Because he's wiser than me.
That is absolutely not true.
And so, mine is really simple, Jill. Just ask the wizard. So how do you know what question to ask? Ask the wizard. The wizard, like we all know, like we all realized this when we were kids, the wizard is all-knowing, all-powerful. Like just you got to ask the wizard that type of a question because the wizard has gone through, all of the universe and the wizard's figured it out. So ask the wizard and the wizard will give you the answer that no human being knows. It's crazy. Does that help, Jill?
It's very interesting.
Can I interject something?
Sure, Tom.
I said earlier that if I'm dealing with somebody, I've got to get them to tell me what it is, what's the outcome that they're looking for, and then if they can tell me what it is they're really looking for, that helps me start to develop questions that will get them to the outcome, or at least get them to see the track they need to run on to get to the outcome. And then I think it goes right back to what Peter said, which is right on, is, well, okay, we maybe be able to do it this way, but what if we took a different tack to it and went this way? How would that work for you? And how would that change, or how would that help us get to that outcome faster?
Interesting.
To me, if they really don't know what the end result is, it's pretty damn hard to get there, because anywhere they go, they got to where they want to go to.
Exactly.
Boy, I wish the wizard was on this call because, man, I'd love to ask the wizard, that question. That would be most intriguing. But you got to go last Saturday of each month. Ski, what would you like to accomplish today?
Oh, hi. I'd like to ask Tom to elaborate, because I agree with him about beginning with the end in mind. Excuse me. But when somebody does have the end in mind and they're still not making progress, what are some of the other things that you think are obstacles to the accomplishment?
I'll give you if it's all right with Mark, I'll give you a quick 5-step process to get to the outcome.
So why would Tom ask me for permission? That's just really cool. It's like, why would he do that?
I'm not going to ask him. I'm just going to launch into
it. Okay, good. All right, go ahead.
The way I call it, it's kind of a well-formed outcome model, but if anybody's really gone through the well-formed outcome, you're going to find out this is a Reader's Digest version. So you start with the end in mind. If I could wave the wand, whatever it is, what would I really want to accomplish? And once I define that and I write it down specifically what I'm looking for, then kind of the 1A is, all right, if you could accomplish that, what would you be seeing and hearing, and what would people be talking about? What are the things that be going on about you? The reason you write those down is not to know when you got to your outcome. It's because it tells you, you'll start to hear and see those things prior to getting to the outcome, so it means you're on track. The second thing you're going to do is, now you know where you want to go. Now you're going to make a list of every single obstacle that will stop you from getting to that outcome, no matter how small it is. 1, 2, 3, you just keep on listing. Then the third thing is you go back to the top of that list and you say, what is it I would have to give up, time, energy, money, whatever it is, to get over this obstacle to get to that outcome? And you go down the list and list every single thing you'd have to give up to get over each of those obstacles. All right? Then the fourth thing, this is the positive one. This is the key. You go back to the number one thing and say, is it really worth it to me to give this up, get over that obstacle, get to that outcome? There's only one of two answers, yes or no. And you go down the list until you hit a no. If you hit a no, what do you have to do? You have to go back to step one again, because you've now identified an obstacle that would stop you from getting to your outcome, and you've identified what you need to give up to get over that obstacle, and you've said it's not worth it to you to do that, therefore you won't get to the outcome. If you go all the way down the list with yeses, then you've got the plan. So you just do the Nike. You just go work the plan that you just laid out.
Does that help, Ski?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Tom.
Do you think you understand that, Ski?
I certainly at a certain level. Do I think I understand it in its completeness? I think I need to really think through the steps and look at them and make sure I do. But conceptually, I think I understand what he's trying to say.
So I was
executing is.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, executing is the obstacle for a lot of people, I think, including myself. So, making sure I'm asking the right questions of myself to uncover those things, I think, is important. But I think this was a good start for me. Yeah.
How do we know? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say on the executing thing, because I agree, it's a problem everybody has, right?
The wizard doesn't, Peter. No, it's not me. It's the wizard. So the wizard doesn't. So when we say everybody has challenges with execution, I don't know. Anyways, go ahead.
It's that the reason I believe that is because people don't have the certainty of what they're doing is going to get them to where they need to go. And I think that process Tom just outlined is all about building confidence and certainty in what you need to do. And once you have that, executing is fun. But until you have that, it's confusing because you don't know. And if you don't know, you don't do the things you need to do with energy and passion. So that to me is the key to creating good execution is the confidence and certainty in the plan in that 1 through 5 that Tom just outlined. Interesting.
Randy, welcome. This is my good friend Randy Lukey. We've known each other for many, many years. I went ahead and Randy and I reconnected. And I asked Randy, I said, hey, Randy, after we had a little bit of small talk, then I said, hey, Randy, what's your biggest challenge? He said, Mark, it's the same issue, the same answer to the question I gave you 15 years ago. He said, it's time. And I said, well, you need to go ahead and join the Leverage course, and he did. Like, he just did. That was crazy that he did what he was directed to do, when he was directed to do it, how he's directed to do it with a great attitude. Like, I was blown away. I'm like, oh, my gracious, there's somebody who actually follows through with what they are directed to do. Randy, why did you join this? Why did you join Leverage?
Hey, Mark. Yeah, so the reason I joined Leverage is like I told you, I need to be able to leverage my time more effectively. Like you said, you've known me for 15, maybe even 20 years now, and it's the same problem today that I had 20 years ago. I got too much stuff I want to do and too little time to get it done. So either I just don't do it or I find ways to leverage my time so I can make it happen. That's why I'm here.
So what is it that you want to accomplish, from participating in this course?
To be honest with you, Mark, I'm not exactly sure if I can articulate that yet, which is why I've been listening in to the call today and starting to look at some of the videos, but maybe ask that question of me next week.
Okay. So I have another question. Do you know how, totally amazing, crazy amazing you are?
My 8-month-old granddaughter thinks so.
Right? Aren't grandkids the greatest thing on the planet? Like with my granddaughter, my first granddaughter that was born, like the day after she was born, I was holding her, and all the women, like her mom, my wife, her aunts, everybody, my other daughters, they were all saying how she had a special connection for me. Wow, she's a day old. How does she have a connection to me? Anyways, but grandkids are great. Any other thoughts on that, Randy?
No, I'm not going to say anything to that question like that.
Why not?
Well, because I want to remain humble and
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
I would. Yeah.
Okay. So you're just like Peter and Tom then.
I don't know Peter and Tom very well.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what they would say that same thing. Is there anybody on the call that would say that they are absolutely spectacular, amazing, crazy awesome? Is there anybody on the call that would say that?
Yes. I would.
Whoa. So I think Rosanna, she was the first one to do it, and Jill, was the second one to do it. Rosanna, why would you say that you're crazy awesome, totally amazing?
Why would I say I was? I thought I was talking about them being amazing.
Oh, okay. Oh, somebody else. Okay. Well, Randy and Tom and Peter, they all would say other people, everybody else is amazing. Okay. Jill, were you saying you were crazy, amazing, and just totally awesome?
No, I thought you were saying that Tom and Peter were.
Yeah, no, they're not. They are not awesome. No. Ask them, and they're just no, we're just normal. We're just normal people.
I don't have grandchildren yet, so I'm okay with you saying that.
Grandchildren, it is crazy. It's awesome.
So, Mark, can I say something here?
Yeah.
Was it Randy who said he was came on because he's got a lot of things going on, but he doesn't have the time to do it? Is
yes.
that correct?
Yep. So,
Randy, this is what I would suggest to you. It's kind of like homework. So between now and next week, the next call, I want you to pick one of those many things that you have wanted to do. And then I want you to take whatever that thing is and do those 5 things that I just outlined. And then when we get back on the call next week, I want you to walk us through all of that stuff that you wrote down. And especially if you got through step 4, where it's yes or no. We're going to get you through one of these things you want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody see what I'm seeing right now?
What are you seeing, Mark?
Thanks for asking. I always like when people are interested in my thoughts. I'm like, man, I love when people say, Mark, what are you thinking? I'm thinking that Tom could give the wizard a run for his money. Like Tom's a genius. He's an absolute genius. It's weird on how he's actually got a 5-step process. And then it's weird that he's listening to Randy and he actually cares about somebody other than himself and even his kids and grandkids and all of that. Like Randy's a total stranger. They've never met ever before in their life. And Tom is so attentive to Randy. And now he's saying, Randy, hey, take one of those things and then apply the 5 things. And the thing that's even stranger about that is Randy will actually do it. Like nobody does. Like Randy will just do those types of things. We have a minute left here, and then we're going to go into the bonus session. So anybody that can stick around, if you're listening to this and you're like, I have no idea what they're talking about, this is absolutely crazy, but there's something energetically. If you're drawn by the energy or the passion, then connect with the individual who invited you to participate in listening to this, or you can go to, you can call toll-free 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300. Or if you're calling in outside the U.S., you can call the U.S.-based number at 630-393-9909. That's 630-393-9909. There will be a 5-second pause between this session and the bonus session. It's only a half an hour. Once a week, but if you're able to stick around for the Q&A, it's just casual, and so, or the bonus session rather. The bonus session is just casual, so feel free to stick around for that, anybody that can. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. God bless and have a great day. Bye-bye.